I think we are all set, Mr. Chair.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 18th at 7:04. We have 4 commissioners here, so we will get started. I will call this meeting to order. We'll start with the roll call. Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Good evening. Thank you, Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Sani is not present. Commissioner Williams is not present. Commissioner Galvan, I am present. Commissioner Anderson is not present. Commissioner Joe Bishop Henchman.
Present.
And Commissioner Headland.
Present.
All right. We have 4 commissioners present today, and we will get started, and this meeting is called to order. We'll start with the approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or any additions or modifications to the agenda from other commissioners?
I move to add a late notice item under 13. Commissioner Sani emailed about this, but after the deadline to name Edward Russell to the Transportation and Public Space Committee.
Okay. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, we will add that to the agenda under item 13. Was it Russell Jones?
Edward Russell.
Edward Russell, thank you. All right, any other additions or modifications to the agenda from commissioners?
We have under item 9D, a grant application off cycle, and I move that we waive our standard procedures 9.7 to allow us to consider it this month rather than in December.
Okay, my understanding is that we need to have a full 4 commissioners to amend the bylaws. Sorry, not amend it, suspend the rules, not amend the bylaws. Suspend the rules for that particular time. Do we have a second for that?
A second.
All right, seconded by Commissioner Headland. We'll move that to a roll call vote to suspend Rule 9.7 of the standard procedures. I'll do that roll call vote now. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Next person, Commissioner Sani, who's not present. Commissioner Williams is not present. Commissioner Galvan, I vote aye. Commissioner Anderson is not present. Commissioner Joe Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
And Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes of the chair. We have 4 ayes, and the rules have been suspended for standard procedure 9.7. We can move forward with that vote in item 9D. Any other additions? Seeing none, we'll do just a roll call, not a roll call, a voice vote for the approval of the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I didn't hear you, Nicole. Sorry, Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Okay, that's everyone. So on the ayes of the chair, the agenda has been approved as noted. We'll move on to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes. Commissioner Jones, thank you for sending those. Go ahead.
Sorry, I missed what you said, Mark.
Oh, sorry. This is for item 3, approval of the minutes. Is there anything you want to move those to approval?
Yes, the minutes were sent yesterday. Thanks everyone for your patience. I received lots of edits and revisions from Commissioner Bishop Henchman. Were there any other questions or follow-up from the minutes last month?
I read them today and they looked good to me. So thank you.
Thank you. I motion to
Yep, go ahead.
minutes.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Bishop Henchman. We'll do a roll call vote. So Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Sani not present. Commissioner Williams is still present. Commissioner Galvan, I vote aye. Commissioner Anderson is not present. Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
And Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
Okay, We have 4 votes to 0, and the minutes have been approved as noted. Thank you, Commissioner Jones. Moving on to officer reports for the chair. Just to note that on the agenda, I want to thank Commissioner Bishop Henchman for the support on the annual report this year, which we will consider up today, and for additional support throughout this last month for duties that normally would be mine. I appreciate everyone's support during this time. That's all I have. Commissioner Anderson is not present, and the treasurer is not present. How I don't think there is any more updates on the amounts, but we are considering the quarterly financial report, which will come up in item 9A for a full report on where we are at from a financial standpoint. So I'll move to Secretary Commissioner Jones for any items you may have as officer.
No items to discuss.
Okay, great. We'll move right along. Item number 5 is the public comment period. This is an opportunity for members of the public, either here in person or online, who may want to have a comment on anything, whether it's on the agenda or not tonight. For those that are currently present, please raise your hand and let us know, and we will call on you. Excuse me, and give you 2 minutes to discuss any item. So I will open that up right now for anyone in the room or online that may want to have a comment. Yes, sir. If you can please just identify yourself, general area that you live, or why you're here.
Yeah, I have more of a question than a comment, but a little bit of background. My name is Mark Braza. I'm the vice president of the Condo Association at 712 Kearney. So we're obviously just in Edgewood, right below the Brooklyn Metro. We've been dealing with some structural issues with our building. We've had several claims that we've filed on the warranty bond. And we cannot get any kind of response from the Department of Buildings. This has been over 2 years for the one I'm talking about. We just can't get any headway there. So I was just hoping that you all could point us to one of you, a commissioner, or the appropriate person that could that we could speak to and who could help to parlay our concerns to them.
Do you know which district your building is in?
I don't.
The map's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just real fast.
Yeah, sure.
02.
Okay. Got it.
We went by Dan's place.
Okay. And it's 712 Edgewood?
712 Kearney.
Kearney, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you for your comment. So just for your awareness, we'll go through all the public comments first, and then commissioners will have a chance to respond if they wish.
Wonderful. Yeah,
so that's great.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, definitely. Are there any other members of the public who wish to provide any comments at this time on the agenda or any other items not related to the agenda? I see Sid with your hand raised. Hold on just 1 second as we get the technology.
Double duties.
Doing some double duties here. All right, Sid, you should be able to unmute.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I had a question about one item and then a comment about the other. The first item, the question was about the grant for Langley School. I wanted to know, like, what kind of grants can charter and public schools apply to? From just the form that was in the agenda, and this is me, like, I don't know a whole lot about the DC public school system and what grants you can apply to. My kid goes to a charter school, and like as every school, there's a PTO, and we raise funds and everything. So what kind of grants can we actually come to an ANC for approval with? From the form, it said that it has to kind of be a community event, but I don't think this grant is requested for a community event. So just a little bit more background on what we can apply for as like as a charter school.
Thank you, Sid. And
I think she had another.
yeah,
You had two
just one
points, right?
clarification on that. What is there a specific charter school you're referring to? Just charter schools in general?
Yeah, the Mundo Verde Charter School that's right off of Peace Street.
Okay, thank you.
Northwest.
Sorry, go ahead with your second.
My second comment was about the safety shade structure at Tanner Park. My understanding is that it has been years that, there's been trying a resolution had on this issue. And I'm just hoping that this time, I don't know if the ANC can support, but just trying to see how we can come to a resolution on this where we still maintain the shade structure, but no kid is injured in that process. The younger kids on whom older kids jump on, and then the older kids themselves, like from other parents and myself, my kid was jumped on, but other parents have seen an older kid fall off and like get injured. And I've heard that the structure itself, like the shade on top has fallen off and they've repaired it. So I feel like it would be better use of funds if instead of repairing it to just make a safer structure. So it does not fall. People don't, like kids don't climb on it and it's just safe generally to use.
Thank you very much. All right. Are there any other comments or questions from members of the public? Not seeing any. Thank you all for your time. I'll give the opportunity for commissioners to respond if they wish to any of the two commenters of the public today.
I can respond on the question about grants for public and charter schools, just from my own experience. And that's essentially that in my experience, it's the PTO that can apply to basically any grant that they're eligible for. So for the ANC grants, each ANC, I think, has up to $2,500 per one grant to the same organization per year. And for the ANC grants, you can see the guidance, but essentially you have to just explain how it would benefit the community. So that would probably be the community that the school is in, or that most of the children, come from that go to the school. So I don't know if that answers your question, but school PTOs can apply for, grants from anywhere, corporations, foundations, ANC.
Thank you, Commissioner Headland. I'll make a note as well. There are fairly clear guidelines on grant usage that is actually on our website as well. ANC5F.com/documents. You can see our bylaws and kind of the outline of the process and when we consider those. So I recommend, Sid, if you haven't already, to take a look at that. There is specific district guidance in law on what is allowed to be used, but yeah, it's the greater community benefit, but there are some broad terms in some cases on the meetings for that. And I'll defer to any other commissioners who may have feedback on that particular subject. Commissioner Bishop-Henchman?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the trampoline and the Tanner Park playground. So we have a resolution in front of us tonight asking the Department of Parks and Recreation, which is in charge of it, to find a way to address the issue of older kids jumping onto the top of the shade structure, which you're not supposed to do, and damaging it and reducing its useful life and putting people in danger, especially the younger kids who may be under it while they're on top of it. There's a sign shows you how much the sign is effective at stopping this. So we're trying to think of more creative solutions, and I want to express great appreciation to Sid, because I think some of these suggestions came from her, and to the Public Space and Health, Public Safety and Health Committee, which, I mean, we got visual aids and everything in the resolution. That's great to have. And the Eckington Civic Association, which also discussed this at their last meeting. So there's been a lot of community input. There could always be more. We've got four different ideas. I guess you think you could potentially do all four, but like any one of them, I think will be an improvement over the status quo. And that's what the resolution is in front of us tonight. Now, that does not foreclose future discussion about a capital project to build something different on that site. I would just note that building something else on that site will require capital dollars from the DC budget. So we're now going beyond what the Department of Parks and Recreation can do and into what the council writes into the budget each year. And that comes from our council member, Zachary Parker, and the full council will vote on it, and will be in the same mix with priorities across the city. And so it's a lot harder to do. It will take a lot longer. And I don't necessarily want to wait to come up with even a smaller solution for that bigger solution. So I'm hopeful we can pass this resolution this evening. And like I said, it doesn't stop us from continuing to pursue longer term changes to the site.
Thank you, Commissioner Bishop-Henchman. I'll just add to
Commissioner Jones has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Commissioner Jones, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to ask a follow-up question to Sid. It sounds like the shade structures are kind of the causing the safety issue here, but I did want to ask, is there additional conflict happening between younger and older kids? I ask this because there has been recent several neighbors have mentioned that at Edgewood Recreation Center there has been like issues between older kids and younger kids. So I just wanted to clarify if that is also a problem here or if it's mainly the shade structures.
We'll unmute you in just 1 second, Sid. There you go.
Hi, thank you for bringing that up. So I think that has varied. There's some days when there are some kids who are aggressive, but as parents, we kind of come in the way and just take our kids away from that situation. Ideally, would not want to do that. Would just want to peacefully, play in the park. But just based on like the neighbors I talked to about the shade structure, the disagreement between the older kids comes from when people try to have them get off the shade structure. And that's when the arguments start happening. And these kids here are like, the younger kids are till like 2 to 5 years of age. So like, at that point, if an older kid is coming to intervene, it's the parents who are, talking to them. So I haven't seen a lot of like younger versus older kid issues aside from just parents versus older kids.
Got it. Thank you so much. I just wanted to clarify and see if
Sure.
what's happening at Edgewood Rec Center is unique, and it may be, but thank you for providing
You're
additional
welcome.
there.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones and Sid. I'll just make one note about resolutions. For those folks who haven't, been part of ANC meetings, resolutions themselves kind of speak at a larger community support for a particular action that's happening in the community. One of the little powers that the ANC has is that resolutions that pass and are sent to the respective departments or governmental groups, they're required by law to respond to those resolutions. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that they will do what we are requesting if the resolution passes, but it throws as much weight as we can as a commission behind community issues. And so, again, I appreciate everyone's, this is how government should work. If there are issues and concerns that come up, bubble it up to your commissioners. And, that's why we have committees that can assist this process to develop. And thank you, Chair Aaron Price, for your assistance on this. And do our best to try to see if we can find a solution that can work. And I think the low-hanging fruit, the ones that with the existing structure that can be done, hopefully the Department of Parks and Recreation will be able to assist, and other agencies or governmental like NOMA bid can also throw their weight behind stuff like this to assist in pressuring the government to make improvements. So just a reference for folks. I will mention Mr. Brasa, is it correct? So one of the nice things that ANCs do have access to is the database of all the different points of contact with the different agencies, since we are also government employees, unpaid, but that's the difference. But we do have kind of the ability to dig deeper on issues that are related to maybe buildings. I had a neighbor who, had a concern about a property that was building, and it wasn't legal what they were doing in building. And so, I was able to reach down and talk to the zoning administrator and, go back and forth over a couple of years, but it did eventually resolve itself. So I recommend you reach out to your commissioner. I know I'm, handing this off to one of my colleagues here, but
not anyone here.
Not anyone here. But you can always email ANC or 5f@anc.dc.gov. That'll hit all of the commissioners. Your commissioner in particular is Commissioner Arusani, and sending him an email, giving him some details, he may be able to assist. Can't make promises, of course, but sure, at least an effort to try to get some answers and some responses on things.
Thank you.
And this is literally the only meeting he's missed.
Okay. Yeah. He's very involved, active. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I didn't write fast enough. 5F at
anc.dc.gov.
And then yours is Arusani, so on the left of the agenda is his email address.
Yeah. So usually, recommend folks, if you're in that particular single member district, reaching out to that commissioner to assist. But if they're not responsive or there's other things going on, the larger commission may be able to assist as well. Or you can also go to the council member's office. They have constituent services. Jerome is on the call right now, and he'll introduce himself shortly. He also can assist with different district agencies from the council member's office as well.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Yes. Isadora. Thank you.
I don't think it's like kid-on-kid stuff going on the playground. I think it's just kids jumping. My question, which I spaced on before, was about any updates on the library?
So I'll start. So we have a task force that's engaged. Right now, they are looking at different components of other libraries to see, hey, can we pick some options that we may be able to advocate for in this kind of footprint, in this design effort. There's been multiple outreach to DCPL, District Public Libraries, and they have not been responsive as of lately. And I think it's been several months that they've been trying to get in touch. So there might need to be some other action from ANC 5F. I know that they were trying to cite a location for it, and the interest rates, and looking at potentially picking a site that would require some other development to come first is kind of the long lead, or the long pull in the tent kind of deal.
So you don't think it'll be ready by 2028?
I don't have a lot of confidence in that. I think they had mentioned it's several years down the road.
I don't want to be too alarmist about it. The money's in the budget. We have 2 finalist site locations.
There's 600 and 5 Rhode Island. And
That
then
sounds right.
600 Rhode Island. I
That
think.
sounds
One is
right.
Bryant Street and one is just randomly on Rhode Island.
Right.
Okay.
And our library task force recently did a field trip to check out the sites. So if you want to join field trips with the library task force, contact your commissioner. We can set you up. In a couple of months, every agency, including DC Public Library, will be going through oversight hearings on the council. And then in the weeks leading up to that, miraculously, a whole bunch of stuff will get done. So we're looking forward to that. And I do agree. I think it's important that we continue to press for DCPL to continue moving this project along so that it's not getting delayed just because no one's working on it.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you very much, Isadora and Commissioner Bishop-Benjamin. All right, seeing no other additional questions and comments, we will move along in the agenda to announcements from commissioners. Are there any commissioners that would like to bring up any items, either for the commissioner of the area or items of note that they would like to discuss? Yeah, I'll start with Commissioner Headland.
Yeah, I have a few public interest items. One is about the Mamie Johnson Plaza, the formerly known as Dave Thomas Circle. Just nothing like really big, but I met with DDOT to discuss the illegal left-hand turn from Eckington Place onto Florida. Some of us, depending on where you live, it may be. Yeah,
She's looking right at you.
No, a couple things. I just had somebody came out. We walked through the site. There's a number of issues with it. I mean, it's not like just one issue that nobody follows the illegal left-hand turn. There's several issues. So, and he saw those. He said he's gonna meet internally. So I got all excited. I don't know if anything is gonna happen, but I will follow up with him soon. But I did also want to tell people that MPD is enforcing it from time to time. So just a word to the wise that MPD is enforcing that sometimes. Another kind of announcement was that we had federal agents in our neighborhood Friday, Saturday, and probably other days in the past. I saw Friday night in Tanner Park, FBI, IRS, HSI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Marshal from Florida, and some random people. So just, it's happening everywhere in the city. It's happening in our neighborhood. If people are, interested, I think going to an active bystander training is recommended if you want to be observing the agents and seeing what they're doing in our neighborhood. I also noted that some of the vehicles that those people came in had black tape over their license plate to obscure the license plate number. So that's something that I've been inquiring about with the commander, the district commander. Like, is that legal now to put black tape over your license plate number? And I haven't really gotten a good answer yet. And then just, I have a regular kind of plug for getting involved with Free DC. I went to a lobbying day today at the House against some kind of bills that are going to be presented tomorrow for vote, which are not good for DC. Anyways, they're doing a lot of good things to advocate for our city, and they have a upcoming orientation this Saturday from 2 to 3:30. It's online if anybody is interested in getting involved. That's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Hanlon. Commissioner Bishop-Benjamin.
I just wanted to thank Isadora for putting on a wonderful Eckington Day event last month.
Weather cooperated.
The weather cooperated. I don't know if we keep records on this, but it seemed like it was record setting. So appreciate everybody coming for.
Thank you, Commissioner Bishop-Benjamin. I'll make a quick note on thank Commissioner Bishop-Benjamin and his support for some changes along Rhode Island Avenue and V Street Northeast. There was some adjustments to some traffic or pedestrian signal if you're crossing Rhode Island Avenue from V Street, increased from 13 seconds to 23, which means you didn't have to run across the street. And it also reduced traffic out into the neighborhood by the way they kind of adjusted some of the light timing. So appreciate your support, Commissioner Bush-Benchman, and DDOT as well for that. And I'd love to hear a little bit more, Commissioner Headland, and maybe we can chat afterward about the plaza, maybe Peanut Plaza as well.
Mr. Jones.
Commissioner Jones, go ahead.
I had a question for Commissioner Headland. Did you say that I think you encouraged people to participate in the bystander trainings? Do you know organizations that are providing that?
Yes, Harriet's Wildest Dreams is doing them fairly regularly, and Free DC, and possibly others as well. I can put something in the chat.
Thank you.
All right, great. Seeing no other, we'll move along in the agenda. We'll go to announcements from representatives of elected officials. Mayor's Office Anthony Black is not present, so we'll move along to Jerome from Councilmember Parker's office. Thank you, Jerome, for joining us.
Of course, my pleasure to be here. I hope everyone can hear me okay.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. There was a constituent that did mention a concern earlier. I just want to make sure that they know they can always reach out to our office. They can reach out to any of us directly or reach our general emails and numbers to get in contact. And I will roll into some updates. So this week, Councilmember Parker's office is holding our annual Thanksgiving giveaway. We will be giving away grocery bags of non-perishable holiday food items on Thursday, November 20th from 12 to 5 p.m. at Turkey Thicket Recreation Center. We will deliver to senior and disabled neighbors, and the grocery bags will include green beans, corn, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy mix, etc. And I can drop a link as well, but you can sign up at ward5.us/Thanksgiving 2025. Huge win for the district. On November 4th, the council voted to decouple our local tax code from the federal tax code. This was essential because the One Big Beautiful Bill passed by Congress contained 84 tax-related provisions that would have reduced the district's revenue by more than $600 million over the financial plan. The revenue win presented a tremendous opportunity to meet the needs of hundreds of thousands of struggling Washingtonians amid rising costs, federal impacts, and more. So Councilmember Parker and Councilmember Fruman led the effort and introduced an amendment that used a modest amount of the revenue to fund the first ever district child tax credit and accelerate the expansion of the earned income tax credit. This means cash in the pockets of everyday Washingtonians at a time when they need it the most. DPR Ward 5 Capital Projects community meeting. Members of the public can get updates on all the DPR projects happening across the ward at DPR's next community update meeting online. And that's scheduled for November 20th at 6 p.m. You can find out more information at the link of our newsletter, the Ward 5 weekly newsletter at ward5.us/news. And I'll drop some of these links in the chat as well. We have our ERAP applications open on November 20th. They are opening at 9 a.m. Residents may schedule an appointment to apply for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, ERAP, by calling 202-507-6666 or by visiting the Virginia Williams Family Resource Center. Please note that applications will now only be by appointment only. The Department of Human Services, DHS, is transitioning to an appointment-based scheduling system, and you can learn more about the Emergency Rental Assistance Program at their website at erap.dhs.dc.gov, and I'll also drop that in the chat. Moving on with other updates, the Department of Public Works is charged with enforcement of the Winter Sidewalk Safety Act, which requires district residents to remove snow and ice from the paved sidewalks, curb ramps, and curb cuts abutting their property after a snowstorm. Qualified residents who are disabled and or 65 or older are exempt from the enforcement with an approved exemption. The sidewalk shoveling exemption program exempts qualified residents from enforcement by DPW for not removing snow and ice from their sidewalks within the first 8 hours of daylight after the end of a winter storm. The exemption is valid for 2 consecutive snow seasons. Once approved, residents must apply every other year to DPW to continue to receive the exemption. And there's a link that I'll provide to apply for the sidewalk shoveling exemption by December 2nd. Councilmember Parker recently released a 16-bill policy package designed to foster youth well-being in the district. The Care for Youth plan was developed alongside impacted youth and their families, advocates, lawyers, judges, and experts. More can be learned about that at ward5.us/care4youth. And join us in our efforts to stand up for DC youth at ward5.us/DC youth. There are a number of hearings on the bills in this policy package coming up, and information about that can be found at lims.dccouncil.gov/hearings. You can also sign up there to testify and or submit any written testimony. Have a couple of ANC 5F specific updates as well. Last week on Thursday, our office responded to Rhode Island Avenue and 4th Street Northeast for reports of a fire. DC Fire and EMS knocked down a large fire at a mixed-use building. Fortunately, all occupants got out safely. 3 neighbors and a dog were displaced. They were connected with Red Cross and provided with resources as they recovered from this incident. Also, I just want to flag that there is a notice of intent to open for comment in ANC 5F right now. This closes for comment on December 19th regarding the installation of an in-street micro-mobility corral in the 2300 block of 2nd Street Northeast. And more information is available on that to come. And that is it for my updates. I'm also open to any questions that anybody might have, but I'll also drop a lot of the links that I've discussed in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerome. Just give an opportunity for commissioners or members of the public if they have any questions for Jerome or comments. I had one quick question. I think, Jerome, wasn't there a passing of a child tax credit?
Yes, that was the one I mentioned. That did pass through the council. That was
okay.
Yeah, that passed November 4th.
Great. I'll
It was in the tax bill that you talked about.
Okay, got it. I just want to make a nice mention that almost 2 years ago, Commissioner Bishop Henchman had actually done a resolution supporting consideration of a DC child tax credit. So I think we were one of the first ANCs that put that resolution forward and passed it. And sometimes these things do become law in the district. So thank you, Commissioner Bishop Henchman, for your leadership on that.
We did a resolution. Councilmember Parker got it through council.
True.
And I do have to say, it is impressive to watch who's still a first-term council member, I'm pretty sure, get that through. And it wasn't obvious it was going to happen. It required some legislative footwork. So it's very impressive. And if you don't know a lot about child tax credit, it reduce poverty among children, which I almost sometimes think should be something you're leaving, but nothing. No achievements. And yes, definitely, Councilmember Parker deserves all the congratulations he can get, and his team. I'm sure he got a lot.
And we certainly appreciate the support from the we certainly appreciate the support from the commissioners as well. So thank you.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, I don't want to all of the work that Councilmember Parker did. And I think wherever we can to support great policy and legislation to help community members is great. So thanks. Please pass on our congratulations. Thank you, Jerome, for your time. I will move right along. On to presentations relating to agenda items. We'll go to the grant application for the Langley PTO. Commissioner Headland.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'm going to turn it over to Famina if she's on the call. I guess maybe I'll just, Langley Elementary is the in-district DCPS public elementary school for Eckington, Edgewood, Truxton Circle, parts of Bloomingdale. So it's a school that I'm very pleased to support. And the PTO has submitted a grant application. So over to you, Amina.
Thanks a lot, Julia, for that. Thanks a lot for considering our application. I unfortunately have to disconnect at 8, so I will make this really brief, and maybe leave more time for questions if you have any. As Julia mentioned, Langley is the neighborhood school, Langley Elementary School, and this application is on behalf of the PTO. The project itself that we have put forward, it is spearheaded by 2 teachers at the school. And what they have done is they have taken stock of the different classrooms from K to grade 5, where they have seen that there are a lot of disparities in terms of the supplies that each of the classrooms have. And so the proposal really is trying to bridge that gap, make sure that there's equity and consistency across all of the classrooms at Langley, and to make sure, and ultimately the goal is to make sure that all students have the same high quality learning experience, and that positively affects student outcomes and teachers' ability to manage small group instruction more clearly. So what you see in the proposal, it's really just a list of items that they have noted that are missing from some of the classrooms. And they have broken it up by different tiers, different priorities. And I have to mention that we are actively fundraising to fill this, because the total budget for all the different items that are listed, it's almost half of the PTO's budget. So this is really why we are trying to raise as much funds as possible from different sources. We have also put forward an application to ANC 5E. So just to flag that as well, just for different parts of the proposal that we have. And in terms of what the grant would finance, these are essentially, things like black book bins, headphones for digital learning, small group organization tools, etc. We have it all listed in the proposal. But maybe I stop here, and if there are any questions on any aspect of the proposal, I can, I'm happy to answer.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions from commissioners or members of the public? I don't see any. Oh, Isadora?
Why
Yes.
did they only ask for $2,500 and not more? Can they ask for more? Or is like
That's the max.
that's the max? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just add that I think it's really wonderful that the teachers were the ones kind of driving, the whole design and, what's needed, since they're the ones who will be using the equipment, so I think it's a good model, and thank you for working with them to put the proposal together.
Great. All right. Seeing no other questions or comments, thank you so much, Amina, for your short presentation. We'll move
Thanks a lot.
right along. Yes, thank you.
Is it okay if I disconnect now and then follow up later?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
All right, we will move on to item number 9, which is the consent agenda. So for those who have not been part of this previously, the consent agenda is the opportunity for different orders, either maybe resolutions or reports that needs the commission's backing for approval by a majority vote, that would go in mass. So we would support items in mass over one vote essentially. But any commissioner can pull anything off the consent agenda to have further discussion or edits or comments on them. So I will open it up to commissioners if there are any items that they would like to remove to the action agenda. Please let us know now. Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move to approve the items currently in the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bishop Henchman. We will move to a roll call vote. And I will start with Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Sani is not present. Commissioner Williams, still not present. Commissioner Galvan, I vote aye. Commissioner Anderson still is not present. Commissioner Bishop Henchman is aye. Excuse me. And Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
All right. In the eyes of the chair, we have 4 ayes, so no nays, and all those resolutions and items in the consent agenda have passed. And we'll move to the respective sponsors to submit those appropriately or take action on those appropriately. Well, there is nothing on the action agenda for item number 10, so we'll move to item number 11. There's nothing on item number 11, so we'll move down to the committee and task force updates. Starting with the Alcohol and Cannabis Licensing Committee. Ms. Coughlin, you are on the line. Go ahead and provide your update. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melissa Coughlin. I am the chair of the Alcohol and Cannabis Licensing Committee. We have a couple of new applications in ANC 5F, or sorry, not new, renewals in ANC 5F for alcohol that have petition deadlines of the 1st of December. They are all in Commissioner Williams' district, so City State Brewing, Taqueria Habanero, Alegria, and Kraken Courts all over in the Bryant Street area. The committee meets on the first Wednesday of the month, and we discussed this earlier in November. There are no outstanding issues, no negative community feedback for these, and so we're just going to crack on with those, and we recommend no action. The other thing, we have no additional renewals that are current. There was a lot of chatter today on social media about a renewal for the Brooklyn Pint space. That's actually not supposed to be placarded until the 21st of November, so it technically hasn't come across our desks, but we will work with that applicant to try to figure out what their game plan is. I don't know if this was mentioned previously, but they don't give us the applicant's information on the renewals or the placards anymore, so we need to file FOIAs for those and try to find out who we need to engage with. So that may be a potential hurdle coming up in the future for this committee, but I think we've got a pretty good tracking sheet of existing places and contact information, so that should be okay. Another thing going on with the committee, there was a resolution that has been passed by several neighboring ANCs about bridging a parity gap between the alcohol and cannabis licensing protesting procedures. There's a lot of disparity around who can protest and on what grounds. with regards to alcohol and cannabis licensing. DC passed some legislation about 2 weeks ago to help bridge this gap, and the committee's going through that so that we can structure a resolution on behalf of the ANC to be voted on, hopefully at our next meeting. If anybody is interested in helping out in doing this or joining the committee, please let us know, or let your single member district commissioner know. We've only got about 3 people in our committee, so we would love to have some more. And then just in some ABCA news, there are provisions for extended hours of operation with Thanksgiving and Christmas or Thanksgiving and other holidays coming up. So if everybody can basically be open, bars can be open till 4, or depending on what their licenses are, up to 2 hours beyond when they're supposed to be open. So if there's any issues, you can always report it to ABCA. They have a hotline. Or you can report it to the committee and we can look into it for you. But do know that their extra hours of operation are approved by ABCA for these upcoming holidays. I think that is everything that I have. If anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Great, thank you, Ms. Coughlin. Commissioner Bishop-Henchman has a question or a comment.
Yeah, I just had a question on Brooklyn Pint, which I think is in Commissioner Sani's district, so I might have to wait until he's back to ask him. But I'm pretty sure they closed, like they went out of business, and I had thought, and I may be mistaken on it, when you have an alcohol license and you close your business, you have to surrender the license. But here they are applying for.
Sorry, you guys froze for a second, but I think I got the gist. I looked into today after seeing that chatter online around. I haven't seen anything in ABCA's database around them applying to get rid of their license or to put it into safekeeping, which is what other places do sometimes. This was just placarded today too. So, and the date for it is the 21st, but we'll look into what this is. It could be an instance of existing owners doing something else. They typically don't sit with the address the way that a liquor store does. But we'll take that on as a committee to look into that.
And, if you're listening, mystery applicant, we'd love to work with you to. And I think the community would be very excited to have something moving into that space. So, let us know.
Great.
Yes, Commissioner Jarrett.
Hi, Melissa. Just curious, could you talk a little bit more about the, I think I maybe have missed your note about bridging the gap between protesting and something else for.
Yeah. So there's a very distinct and well-documented protesting procedure for alcohol applications and renewals. So for bars, taverns, liquor stores, an ANC can protest, an adjacent ANC can protest, an adjacent neighbor can protest. There's a whole bunch of people that can protest. And there's a variety of grounds upon which they can protest around peace, order, and quiet, parking and pedestrian vehicular safety, things like that for alcohol. For cannabis, the only party that can protest is the ANC. And there's a variety of different things, like somebody who lives next to a liquor store can say my property value is going down and I've documented it this way, but somebody who lives next to a cannabis shop doesn't have that same ability to do so right now. And so both alcohol and cannabis protests have been something that have happened within the last 6 to 9 months in ANC 5F, and that has kind of been highlighted, the disparity in the processes around that. So the emergency legislation that they passed was to increase the grounds for protesting for cannabis, but not necessarily the parties that can do it. And so I think it was ANC, I want to say 6A, ANC 6 something, passed a really nice resolution, and a couple of other adjacent ANCs have globbed onto that, because we really need to start getting DC Council to do. I mean, they're two different entities, but the grounds of protesting should be fairly equivalent, right? So and this just came up last week, so we just need a little bit more time to kind of get our stuff together and pass it on to the ANC, which we plan to do ahead of the December meeting.
Thank you for talking through that.
Yep.
Thank you, Chair Coughlin. Appreciate your time. Any other questions, comments from commissioners, public? All right, moving right along. Thank you so much. We'll go on to the Public Safety and Health Committee. Mr. Aaron Price.
Yes, good evening, neighbors, and good evening, commissioners. Bunch of updates from Public Safety and Health Committee. So starting from the top at community engagement, just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Commissioners Jones and Commissioner Headland for joining us at the Noma Bid Pumpkin Palooza to do some tabling around ANC 5F and distributing some of the flyers we have regarding public safety and public health tips, as well as some of the pieces of advice we have for neighbors. Also, we had a wonderful tabling session at Eckington Day. So big shout out and thank you to Commissioner Headland, Bishop Henchman, Commissioner Sani, and Commissioner Galvan for joining us at the table. Spoke with a lot of neighbors, got some really good feedback from neighbors about some good things in the neighborhood, as well as some items that we've kind of put on the horizon for potential address by the ANC, including that long-term solution to the safety issue by the shade structure. So thank you all for joining for that. We're still scouting out more community events that's happening in the future. So if anybody has some really good community engagement events and opportunities, please reach out so that we can see if we can table at those events and continuing to engage our community around what the ANC does. Public safety updates, big update, and thank you to Commissioner Bishop Henchman for pointing this out. DC Council's Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety is holding a hearing on Evidence-Based Gun Violence Reduction and Prevention Act of 2025. This hearing will be on Thursday, December 4th at 9 a.m. with a virtual option to join and testify, as well as an in-person option to join and testify. At this hearing, there are multiple bills that are up for that public hearing. One of which is the Juvenile Curfew Amendment Act of 2025, which is also happening at 9 a.m. So all of this to say, highly encourage everyone to sign up and testify for this. We have been doing a lot of work, our committee and our ANC, around evidence-based gun violence reduction and prevention, and this goes aligned with the letter of support that we have been circulating around to other ANCs in the area. So I would love to see more commissioners, neighbors really step up and join us at this hearing. And if you are unable to join the hearing because it is early during a workday, please consider submitting testimony, written testimony as well. Just engage inside the process. We could use all of your voices for this public hearing. Public health updates, two updates for you all. So number one is we are planning on voting on a drafted resolution supporting Councilmember Parker's coordinated assistance, rehabilitation, and empowerment for youth plan. This is, again, it's 16 bills that are wrapped up into one plan specific for the Department of Youth and Rehabilitation Services that really talks to family engagement as a big aspect of curbing crime, especially for juvenile crime. A lot of it is highly evidence-based and it really connects the dots within these systems as well. So we're looking forward to putting that resolution forward to the greater ANC in December for a vote. And just a big shout out and thank you to the commissioners for passing the resolution on long-term solutions to safety issues posed by the shade structure being used as a trampoline in Alethea Tanner Park playground. So appreciate the fast effort around this, and a big thank you to all of the community members, especially Sid, for your advocacy, for really trying to hold elected officials and some of the local offices accountable for the issues that are posed by what you've been seeing around the trampoline the shade structure is being used as trampolines. So just appreciate the community on this and just broader community support around this type of process where if you are having an issue, please reach out to us so we can continue to formulate resolutions and move this forward to hold other district agencies accountable. So just appreciate our government in action. And last update for public health is just a reminder to commissioners that were reached out to by Connor Shaw with Councilmember Parker's office to submit some of those air quality code markups. I submitted mine last week and received some feedback from Connor. So please just make sure to put in your feedback to those air quality codes as soon as you can so we can see where this progresses within DC Council. Next meeting for the Public Safety and Health Committee is this Thursday, November 18th. We will be again at the Judd and Wheeler / Eckington Community Space at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We also have a virtual option to join as well. Highly recommend coming to join our meetings and then leaving off our community with a couple of public safety and health tips. So number one is cold season is approaching. So just please make sure that you're looking out for your neighbors, especially those that are homeless. And there is a hotline that you can contact to reach out to shelters in case anybody's experiencing any form of hypothermia or in need of shelters in warm places. So either you can contact 311 for this, or you can contact 202-399-7093. And then the last thing too is food insecurity is a huge issue right now with all the fluctuations happening around SNAP benefits currently in our community and communities all across the US. And the holidays are a difficult time as is. So please just look out for your neighbors, especially neighbors that are food insecure around this time for the holidays. And experiencing issues with SNAP benefits. So I would just recommend looking at some of our really incredible food security places across DC, such as World Central Kitchen, Thrive DC, DC Food Project, Capital Area Food Bank, and Bread for the City. But if you can, donate to some of those causes, give some food, work some hours at various soup kitchens that we have to distribute food through Councilmember Parker's Thanksgiving drive as well. Just look out for our neighbors in various ways around this time. It's a hard time that we're being hit with right now. That is all from me, and happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Price. Any questions from commissioners or public? Not hearing or, oh, yes, Commissioner John.
Yes, just a clarification from Daniel. Can you mention again when the testimony is for the juvenile curfew measure?
Yes, I can. So it's a bunch of bills that are being considered at the same time. So you can sign up to testify for one, for a couple, for all of them, completely up to you. So the Evidence-Based Gun Violence Reduction and Prevention Act of 2025 and the Juvenile Curfew Amendment Act of 2025 are both within the same hearing. And that's happening at 9 a.m. on Thursday, December 4th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Excellent update. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Price. All right, we'll move right along to Transportation and Public Spaces Committee. Commissioner Sani is not present tonight, although there may be maybe another commissioner has an update. I'm not sure. Nope. We'll move right along to Zoning and Development Committee.
Did not meet.
Did not meet this last month. Keep on moving to the Library Task Force. Mr. Garnett. Now, I think we covered this kind of at the beginning a little bit, where they're trying to get in touch with DCPL on updates and scheduling times to engage on kind of scope level efforts for the design and planning process for the library in Edgewood / Eckington area. Moving on, we'll go to the appointments to committees or task forces. We have Edward Russell to the Transportation and Public Spaces that Commissioner Sani had requested and was amended in the agenda. We'll just,
On Commissioner Sani's behalf, I'll move that Mr. Russell be appointed.
Okay, great. Are there any seconded by Commissioner Headland? We'll do just a quick roll call.
Any objections?
Yeah, are there any objections? I don't think so. All right. Then Mr. Russell has been added to the Transportation and Public Spaces Committee. Thank you very much for volunteering to support that. That being said, it is 8:08 p.m. and that is the end of the agenda. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your time and support. Have a great evening.
Next meeting
is on
anyone?
December 16th.
Thank you, December.
Seven.
Yes, December
7
16th.
p.m.
That will be the final meeting for 2025. So most likely. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Commissioner Jones,